Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mikita Tretyakov and I'm recording the lesson related to basic checkmates in chess that every chess player should know. For the purpose of this video, I selected to show you some really basic checkmates, starting from the simplest one and then going slowly one level to another level. So that will be very simple. I hope it will be useful, and I hope you can reproduce this checkmate in your real games. So let's get started. So here we have the empty board, and the first checkmate I want to show you is called basic ladder checkmate or linear checkmate. So we need, of course, obviously, two kings on the board, and white will checkmate the black with, let's say, rook and queen. Yeah, we'll start from this position. This is the sample position, and in this position our purpose is to checkmate the black king. Okay, how to do it? There are several ways to do it, but the most straightforward and easy way is to cut all the possible lines leading to the black king. What I mean by that is very simple. I take a rook and I bring it to e1. Yes, like this. So this is check. Rook attacking the king that's staying on e7, and king has to move. King cannot move to e file. King cannot stay anymore on d file, so king has to move to c file only, because now the line on e file and the line on d file both taken by rook and queen. So in this particular position, king has the only choice to go to c file, and if you can see, black king cannot go back to d file anymore. It's not just possible because all d file is taken by the rook. So, and our goal now is to push the king to the edge of the board, which is a file, for example. How to do it? We can then use our queen and cut the c file. If we cut the c file, king will have no choice but just to go back to b file. So let's do it. So we take the queen and move the queen to c file. So now it's check again. King cannot stay anymore on c file, cannot go right on d file, and there is only one choice for king, is to go to b file. That way we cut one more line. So now king goes to b file, and then you can guess what to do next. You can pause this video for 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 1 minute if you're a beginner, and think what's the best move in this position. Okay, I hope you found the solution, and the solution is to move the rook on b1. If you move the rook on b1, as I'm doing right now, it's another check. And now b file is completely taken by the rook, c file is completely taken by the queen, and king has no choice just to go back, not back, but go left, if you want, to a file. That's the last line, and there is no more lines left for the king. And now the last move for white remains is check and checkmate. And some players can mistakenly take the rook and do a check, because there are many checks possible in this position. But if you check with the rook, be careful, king can go back to the b file, and we don't want it to happen. So you keep the rook on b file, so king cannot go on b file anymore, and you use queen. So rook is completely occupying b file, and then queen is going to a file, and that's it. That will be checkmate, and king will just have to jump of the board. So this is checkmate. King has no legal moves left. And since there are no legal moves left, that's checkmate, game is over. So king can only probably jump off the board. That's it. Yeah. Okay, hope it was clear, and you can repeat the same logic in your games when you have king and queen and rook against king. It's called ladder because you just go like step by step, ladder by ladder, cut line by line, and as a result, you push the king to the edge of the board and checkmate on the last line. Yeah, hope it's clear. Okay, let's go further. Let's go to the next one. I'll clear the board. I'll bring white king, I'll bring black king, and I'll now use two rooks. Not queen and rook, but I'll use two rooks. Let's say from this particular position. Okay, the logic is exactly the same. You need to cut line by line and push the king to the edge of the board. Again, you can choose whether to push the king upstairs, left, right, downstairs. It's all up to you. You just have to push it to the edge of the board and cut the last line. In this particular position, let's make it like maybe a little bit differently. Let's push the king to the 8th rank. What I mean by 8th rank. So you know there are files and ranks in chess. Files are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, the vertical lines, and ranks are 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 8. The horizontal lines, they go like stairs: first floor, second floor, third floor, and so on and so on. Up to 8th floor. These are ranks. So we will push the king to the 8th floor or 8th rank, and I'll highlight the 8th rank right now. So this is where we want to push the king, and that will be the rank where we will do checkmate. Okay, so how to do it? The easiest way in this particular position is to use the rook. Oops, I need to erase that one. So let me erase everything. Okay. So now we will use the rook that is staying on d4, and we will move it to d6. You can see that king is not able to take this rook because two rooks are connected. Basically, if king takes the rook, then another rook takes the king, and it's not possible. King cannot commit suicide. It's not legally possible in chess. King must always remain safe, and in this position, king can only stay on 7th rank or go to 8th rank. It cannot go to 6th rank because 6th rank is now taken by the rook. And yeah, let's see what king can do. King goes to b7, let's say. If king goes to b7, then in this case we can use another rook to cut the 7th rank. How to do it? If you want to cut the 7th rank, you see that rook is staying on d3, cannot go to 7th rank immediately. It requires two moves. If you use the rook that's staying on d6 to go to g7, then king will escape and king will go to 6th rank. So we don't want it to happen. So we need the rook that's staying on d3, this one. And in two moves, we will move it somewhere to 7th line. It doesn't matter where it goes now. Let's say here. Now it's black's turn, but king is smart. He's saying, no, I will attack your rook on d6. And if you now mistakenly move the rook that is on f3 to f7, that will be a mistake. because then king would be able to take rook on d6. Yeah, how to avoid it? Very simple. You just take the rook that's now under attack and move it to h6, far away from the king. You're just saying, dear king, thank you so much, but I prefer to stay away from you. I don't want to come closer to you. You are dangerous. I don't want you to take me. And okay, king says fine. It's okay if you don't want to take me. It's up to you. Yeah, I go to d7. Fine. And then if you can stop the video here and think what's the best move now for white. There are many moves possible, of course. You can move king, you can move any rooks, but what's the best one? Okay, I hope it was easy task for you. The easiest way to continue doing checkmate is use the rook that is on f3 and move it to f7, check, f7, check. So now 6th rank is completely occupied by the rook. I will highlight it again. So 6th rank is taken by that rook. And now 7th rank is taken by another rook. So both lines are completely controlled by our rooks. And king cannot stay there. What only king can do is to go upstairs to 8th rank to escape from danger. Okay? And the last one, the last move, what's left here is just to take the rook that is staying on h6 and move it to h8. If you mistakenly move the wrong rook on f7, let's say you do mistake, it's okay, it happens a lot. You move rook there, then king is very happy. King is saying thank you very much. Now the 7th floor is completely free for me. I'll just go back to 7th floor. And if you do mistake again and use another wrong rook to check from 7th floor, now king is even more happy. It goes to 6th floor, and now yeah, it's escaped. It completely escaped checkmate. So and then you just need to push it again using the same methodology to the last line, but checkmate it correctly. So I'll just quickly show you how to do it. In this case, you can cut the level number 5. King prefers to continue staying on level number 6. Then you use the rook that's staying on 8, move it to 6, like this, right? So now both lines occupied by rooks. King goes upstairs, and then one by one, 6 is taken, you take the 7. King goes to e8, and now you need to cut the last floor, but if you do it with the rook that is on f6 and mistakenly place it next to the king, king will take it, so don't do it. Instead, from from f6, you move it first somewhere to a6, far away from the king again, and then nothing remains for king. He can only stay on 8th rank. Doesn't matter where he goes, he still stays on 8th, and then you take the rook on a6 and move it to a8. Yeah, that's it. In this position, as you can see, again, both lines, both floors completely occupied by rooks, and king has no choice just to escape and jump off the board and accept the resignation. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I hope it's clear. Let's go to the next level. So I'll erase everything. I'll clear the board. Let me erase everything again. And then we will clear the board now. Okay. Go back to tools. Board editor. Clear the board. Okay. Next topic. yeah, it's quite easy to checkmate with queen and rook, or two rooks, or two queens. The logic is exactly the same. The next level is to do checkmate with just one queen only. And if there is only one queen, that's a little bit more tricky, but here you go. I'm here with you, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So we will put the king number 1, king number 2 to the board, and let's make it fair. Now black will checkmate white. Our first example, white checkmated black. Now black checkmates white, so it will be 1-1. Nobody will be upset. Yeah. So this position happens a lot. You can just believe me, it happens every, I don't know, maybe not second game, but I see it every time. Every time I go to chess tournaments, and every time I organize children's chess tournaments, this position happens in every chess tournament. So everyone must know how to checkmate in this position, because imagine you struggle for a couple of hours, game was very difficult. You finally have your king and queen against only king, and you don't know how to checkmate. You repeat 50 moves, no checkmate, it's a draw. And all this time that you spend, literally not wasted, but you get very upset because you cannot checkmate the king in completely winning position. So such positions you have to know to the level that you can do it automatically. What's the logic here? There are several things that you should consider and that you should know. You can do checkmate. Easiest way to do checkmate is just to push the king to the corner of the board. Corner is a1, h1, h8, or a8. Like there are 4 corners of the square. You can also checkmate it on the a file, h file, or first or 8th rank. That's all possible, but the corner is just easier to understand. You need only queen to push the king to the corner. You do not need your king yet. But for the checkmate, you need both pieces, king and queen. So first things first, how to push the king to the corner. Let's say black to move. As you can see in this random position, king stays on rank number 2. The easiest way to start is to cut the rank number 3. So you take the queen and go downstairs to rank number 3. Now the 3rd rank, and respectively everything above the 3rd, is completely blocked for the white. White cannot go anywhere starting from 3rd level up to 8th level. It's just not possible, because queen is controlling 3rd. It means that the rest of the board is not accessible for white. So here king can only go can only stay on his current 2nd floor, or go downstairs to the 1st floor. And let's say king is smart and he doesn't want to go downstairs. He understands that if he's cornered, then he'll lose. So king prefers to stay on 2nd rank. But where king can go on the 2nd rank? You see, queen is staying next to him. And look at this position carefully, where queen is staying and where king is staying. So if you play chess and if you know how knight moves, that looks very similar. This position looks very similar to the way that knight does check. So I'll erase that. Imagine if there is knight instead of the queen. Oh, wait. I'll cut that. I'll I'll use my pointer. If there is knight instead of the queen, there would be check, right? So this is how knight does check for the king. But there is a queen, and the best position for queen is to stay exactly where this imaginable knight would do a check. So this is the best position for the queen to be, because now queen controls, as we already saw, the third rank, but also queen controls squares below, like that. Queen controls this square, queen controls that square, and queen controls this square. So king has just king has just three possible moves, which is b1, d1, or b2. If king goes to b1 or d1, that means that it goes downstairs one level, and then you can immediately cut the second one. King can still go to b2 and stay in the same level. If king will go to b2 and stay on the same level, imagine what you should do next. You can stop the video and you can think about the solution. Where king should go next, where queen should go next if king decides to go to b2. Hope it's clear, and hope you understand the logic. Queen should follow the king exactly in a manner that this imaginable knight would do a check. So the best move for queen is to go to d3 and again stay like a knight, like a knight doing check. Now king has only like 1, 2, 3 squares also. King can go to a2, king can go to b2, a1, or c1. Only 3 squares left. Let's say king goes to a2. Then same, follow like a knight, chase king like a knight. That's how queen moves now. And now king has absolutely no choice. Oops, I stopped my video. No, I didn't stop my video. Can I ask for assistance to ensure that I'm still on the screen? Excuse me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I disappeared from the screen. Can you make sure that I'm still on the screen? Because I do not see myself.
Can you click on this?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
okay, perfect. That's one button, yeah.
If you put that one, this picture will be in front of you. If you click on it, you can see yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Make the picture big and you can make it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so still learning technology. Yeah, let's continue. So now king is on a2, and king has no choice but to go one level down because it can no longer stay on the second rank. So king has two choices. No, actually only one choice. King can only go to square b1. That's it. That's all possible move. Nothing else. Like really nothing else. What's the best move for queen? You can guess. The best move for queen is again continue chasing king like a knight. d2. In this move d2, king has last square left, a1. Only a1 and nothing else. So king goes to a1 and it's in the corner. And now the most important part of the checkmate. Do not move the queen now to c2. Stop chasing king like a knight once king is in the corner. When king is in the corner, you stop chasing it like a knight. You just keep your queen where it currently stays. No more moves for now. because if you mistakenly move queen to c2, it's a draw. It's a draw because there is no check, there is no attack on the king, but king has no moves. If there is a check and king has no moves, that's checkmate. But if there is no check, but king has no moves, it's called stalemate. It's a draw. So do not do it. Do not move queen there. It will be very disappointing to just have a draw where you can win, right? So keep your queen there. Instead, move the king. Move your king towards the white king. And now white king can only jump between a1 and b1. That's it. That's all what this king can do. a1 or b1. That's it. Continue bringing your king closer. White king goes to a1. You bring your king closer. Then b1. Then again closer. Then a1. Again closer. b1. And once your king is close enough, you can do checkmate. Now queen can easily do checkmate. You can pause this video and find checkmate or checkmates, because there are several. Okay, hope it was easy for you. And I choose to checkmate the king. Queen goes to b2. That's the easiest way. King cannot take the queen because the queen is supported by black king. King is attacked. Queen is attacking the white king and saying like, move, otherwise I take you, and there are no moves left. If there are no moves left, that's checkmate. So basically there are three main components. The component number one, you use the queen like a knight. You push the white king to the corner with your queen. Once the king in the corner, move your king closer. That's number two. Once your king is close enough, then use your queen, bring it next to your king, and checkmate the opponent's king. That's it. Okay, that was checkmate with king, queen against king. Let's go to another level. And another level of complexity is checkmate with only rook and king. It happens not so often, quite rarely, but it happens as well. And you have to know how to checkmate with only rook. Also, 100% you need to know it. If you don't know it, and if you face this position, but if you play chess, I'm sure sooner or later you will face this position. If you do not know how to win, it's again very disappointing. So let me show you how to checkmate with rook and king against king. Okay, so we will clear the board again. Oh yeah, we can just move the pieces to random positions. So let's take, instead of queen, rook, and let's start maybe from this position, like a bit random. So how to checkmate with rook and king? There is another methodology quite similar to queen and king, but a little bit more difficult. So number one, what's the plan? Plan is very important. If you know the plan, then you can execute it. If you do not the plan, what's the plan? You just move pieces randomly. Then what are you exactly executing? Nothing. Like, you have to know what you are doing. What's the plan? What's the long-term idea that you are following? The idea for this checkmate is to first push the king to the edge of the board, whether 8th rank, 1st rank, A file or H file, doesn't matter. If you push the king to the edge of the board, that's first part of the job, and let's do it first. Okay, so let's choose where to push the king. Let me push it probably to 8th rank. make it simple. You see the rook currently occupying 5th rank and king is staying on 6th rank. So king cannot come to 5th rank anymore. It stays on the rank number 6. So I'll put my king. I'll walk across the board, and it will be quite long. I mean, there are of course easier way to do it, but I'll show you the very simple and basic logic. What do you need to achieve? So you have 50 moves, so that's completely fine. Oh yeah, white has to move. Let's say white moves left and right. White king can come and attack the rook, doesn't matter, my king is there. Then white goes here, my king goes there. You have to now push the king to the 7th rank. If you just use the rook now and do check, it doesn't work, king will go back to 5th rank. So the ideal position that you need to achieve to push the king one level up is that the kings should stay in front of each other, but that should be your move now. If it's now black's move, then rook can do a check, and king will have to go upstairs. So I'll explain you why a little bit later, but that's the ideal position and it has to be your move now, but now it's not your move. King was there and now it's move of the white pieces. So king, let's say, decided to go there. And let's first keep the rook on the same line, but move it away from the king to make sure the rook is safe. Okay, where king will go? Let's say here. If king goes there, if you bring the black king one square from the white king, then it's not your move again. That white has to move, so it doesn't work. So your goal is that white king will stay in front of your king in the opposition. It's called opposition. Now it's not opposition, and in this particular case, if it's move for the black, you just do maybe one waiting move like that and see what white will do. If white mistakenly moves in front of your king, that's a mistake. Now you can do check and king will go upstairs. I'll explain you why. So in this case, your black king always controls all the squares around himself, right? Like this, and like this. So the most important that he controls the 3 squares above himself. They are not accessible for the white king. And if the rook does the check now, like this, what king can do? Now rook controls all the line. Let's use different color. Controls that even, that. Like all line is now under control of the rook, and white king is not able to go downstairs. It can only go upstairs now. There is no other way. There's completely no other way. So let's say king goes upstairs. Yeah, one level up. So the first part of the job is done. We push the king one level up. Now we need to repeat the mechanism to put it even one more level up. So again, your goal is that white king will stay in front of your king. Do not put your king in front of white king by yourself. Wait for white to stay in front of you. So the correct move for the black king is not here, because that will be your move. Instead, the correct move is there. And your hope is that white king will now come and stay in front of you. That's what's your hope. But white shouldn't do it if white doesn't want to do it. White can go upstairs, but it's even worse, because then rook can go to 7th floor, and that's almost it. But white can also go to g7, right? If white goes to g7, chase the white king with your king, like that. What white can do now? So you can pause the video and you can decide what would be the best move for the white. The best move for the white here is probably h7. Just continue running away. Run away. If you run away, then just continue chasing it. Black king chases the white king. And now what? Now white king has basically two choices, whether to stay in front of your black king or go upstairs. That's it. Both is good for you if you play in black. If white stays in front, check. Always check in this position. Because again, now white has no choice. It has to go upstairs. And white goes upstairs. When white goes upstairs, guess what's the best move now? Do not put your king in the opposition. You have to wait until your opponent will do it. So move one step away like this, f6. And then white again has a couple of choices, whether to just stay now in front of you on f8. And another choice is just to go maybe h8, that's it. If h8, continue chasing g6. Now the only way, the only move for white is g8. And guess what? Checkmate. That's the mechanism. So you first push the king to the last floor or edge of the board, whatever you choose. Ensure that opponent's king stays in front of your king in the opposition with his move, and checkmate. That's the idea for rook and king checkmate. Yeah. Well, these are the main checkmates that you have to know how to execute. And the last one is two bishops checkmate that I'm going to show you in a second. So for the last one, let's clear the board. Okay. The most complex checkmate of today is two bishops checkmate. Let's say in this position, white will checkmate the black. So we will have two bishops. One is staying on white squares, one is staying on black squares. And let's start from this random position. Okay. So in this random position, the idea that checkmate can be done also in the corner. Doesn't matter which corner. Depends where black king will go, but checkmate happens with the corner and bishop does checkmate. One of the bishops does checkmate. What's the idea how to start, how to push the king to the corner of the board? First things first, very simple. The first idea is just you keep your three pieces closer to each other and bring them step by step upstairs towards the opponent's king. If white to move, I don't know, you start something like that. Let's say black, I'll do like random moves for black and quite random moves for white, but the idea is just to bring your pieces closer to black king one by one. Bishop does check. Okay, king can only go up now, then one more step, 2 pieces, 3 pieces close to each other. Now black has to move, let's say here, one more step for you. You just keep your 3 pieces close to each other and step by step go towards the opponent's king where it goes. You just follow it. Okay, let's say black decides to go there. You can bring your king closer, like this. And then black decides to go, let's say, this side. And then you can play with your king, maybe bring your king there. King goes there, you bring king there. So now what to do? You should not now just dance with kings because it will be a draw. You need to execute checkmate. And now the question is how to execute checkmate. You have to push the black king to the corner. If you want to push the black king to the corner, then you need to pay attention to the squares next to the black king. So let's say let's choose this color, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So part of the squares, like for example these two, will remain available, and the other two should remain taken, occupied by your bishop, 2 of them, one by one. So that will lead that king will only be able to move one side, let's say left to right. So how to do it? Let's erase that. Let's choose the pointer. Okay, if it's white to move, then okay, I'll play bishop. Okay. Now bishop occupies the following squares. Choose the color, that one and that one. And king occupies this square and this square and this square. So black king has only one move, is to go to e8. Pointer, we need pointer. Okay, king goes to e8. Okay. And I'll play, in this position I would play waiting move for black bishop and see what king will do. If king goes this way, then it's fine. You just need to make sure that king does not escape. So black bishop controls the diagonal, white bishop controls the diagonal. So you can just play king back for now, and then black king will go there. You play king, again where it can go only upstairs. And then your bishop goes from another side, right here. You bring your king closer. King goes this way. And now in this position, you should restrict the king to go back to e8. So you play bishop b6. And then king continues his journey over there. So then be careful, so you don't want the king to escape. You need to rearrange the pieces the way that you can chase the king with 2 bishops from the back, and your king will help avoid escaping. So what I mean by that is that in this particular position, the white bishop controls the square that is on e8, so king cannot go there. Your king controls the 3 squares above, so black king cannot go downstairs, and it can only go right. And if it goes right, then your black bishop in this particular rearrangement should take the square behind. Like if I play this way, then bishop takes the square f8. And now king, let's say, goes to h8. If it's h8, you protect, you do not want it to escape. It goes back. If it goes back, you do a check. Wait, like this, check, right? And then in this case, in this particular arrangement, the only square for black king to be is h8. So, and the last one would be checkmate if you place the bishop on d4. That's checkmate. So the idea is that the black king cannot escape from the front. It cannot escape from the front, but also it cannot go back. So the job of 2 bishops is to control the back escape, and the goal of your king is to control the front escape. And it will require some practice, and you need to rearrange the pieces the way that your king doesn't allow the opponent's king escape from the front, but at the same time your bishops occupy the squares at the back. And then piece by piece, move by move, you slowly move the opponent's king to the corner, and once it's in the corner, the last move should be check, like I did with my black bishop, check, and now there is no way to escape at all. So it will require some practice. I suggest you to play this position as many times as you can against the strongest chess engine. I suggest Lichess Stockfish 8 because Stockfish 8 plays correct moves, and try to checkmate your opponent's king with 2 bishops and king with the minimum number of moves. Again, you'll need to practice it a lot, and once you practice it enough and you're confident you can do checkmate, then the job is done. This position, to be honest, happened to me one time in my entire life, and I was not able to checkmate, and that was very, very disappointing. So yeah, this position doesn't happen frequently, but if it happens, you have to know how to checkmate with 2 bishops. So that's it. That's it for today. That's it for our test lesson using the new technology. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel, leave your comments. Feel free to suggest, criticize, give advices, like write whatever you want. I'll be able to absorb all the information that you give me to improve myself, to improve my teaching ability, and hopefully in the future my lessons will become more and more good, better, fun, productive, more interesting, and so on. Yeah. Okay, so it was pleasure giving these lessons for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and see you in my next videos.